Good Saturday evening, South Mississippi. Meteorologist Taylor Graham here, joining you from the newsroom, giving you a little bit of a recap of all the rainfall that we've had the past several days. November was extremely dry, but so far for the month of December, we have picked up a lot of rain, and we do have another round of rain on the way tomorrow night. Once we get past that, things are looking much drier for this upcoming week. But I went ahead and looked at radar estimates for rainfall amounts since December 1st. It's quite a bit. We picked up a good soaking rain Thursday, Friday, yesterday, and this morning, even early this afternoon, we had widespread showers, some steady rainfall at times, but we really saw the majority of this rain on Thursday and previously on Monday for the first day of the month. So from December 1st, many spots in South Mississippi have picked up 6, 7, 8 inches of rain. If not that, at least of 2 to 4 inches. So a good amount of rain over the past several days. I think it's safe to say that has put a very significant dent in our drought situation. I'm very curious to see when the latest drought monitor is released, which is going to be this upcoming Thursday, how much of that drought we've been able to chip away here in South Mississippi. So as you can tell, obviously, we've had a lot of rainfall over the past 5 to 6 days. As for tonight, there could be a few isolated showers that stick around. For the most part, though, a lot of the rain has moved out of the way. We'll keep a small chance for a stray shower. Generally speaking, things are looking dry. Now, the roads are still wet. There's still going to be some ponding out there with all of the rain that we've had. But overall, the rest of tonight looks fairly calm. Now, temperatures are going to stay pretty steady, fluctuating a few degrees here or there. Right now, we're in the upper 40s and low 50s. We're mainly going to be in the low to mid 50s. Overnight tonight, we'll see some cloud cover stick around for the most part. And some of those clouds are going to be sticking around into tomorrow as well. Not really expecting any rain throughout the day tomorrow, or rain chances look pretty slim. If we get a little sunshine to peek through in the afternoon, we may warm up into the mid 60s. Many of us will stay in the low 60s, it looks like. It's not until tomorrow night that we'll have a better chance of seeing some scattered showers. Maybe even a few heavier downpours here or there. Right now, looking into Jones Park at the Harbor Lights, things are looking very Christmassy, obviously. A beautiful Christmas evening across Gulfport, it looks like. The rain has moved out of the way. We do see a chill in the air. We're feeling that tonight, but it's not overly cold. We are currently sitting at 50 at the airport. Some inland areas a little bit cooler right now in the mid 40s. Again, as we head into Sunday morning, our temperatures may stay pretty steady or fluctuate a little bit, even a few degrees warmer by early Sunday morning. So generally, our temperatures are not going to be too different from where they are at right now. And taking a wider view, we can see some much cooler air well to our north. That's where the sky is clearing out a little bit more. 38 Tupelo, 37 up into Birmingham. We're seeing some of those low 40s up into Arkansas, where we have a little bit more cloud cover like coastal Louisiana, southeast Louisiana, here in South Mississippi. Things are not quite as cold. We're more so in the low to mid 50s. And we can see on satellite some of those clouds continuing to stream in from the south and west. But the majority of the moisture now remains just to our south, and that's going to be shifting to our south overnight tonight into Sunday. So again, most of the rain is going to be moving out of the way. We can see a bit more of a dip in the jet stream, a trough, starting to push into parts of Texas and Oklahoma. So again, some of that moisture starting to get pushed out of the way. Now with that, we are watching a new low pressure system starting to get a little bit more organized near Texas and Oklahoma. I want to point out that cold front with that system. That's what's going to help to bring with it or create some scattered showers for us very late Sunday and into very early Monday morning. Overall, it looks like the majority of the rain on Sunday is going to be late at night. Again, most of tomorrow during the day is going to be pretty dry. So we got the latest run of Futurecast in. I noticed temperatures tomorrow morning with some of the clouds in place still staying mainly in the low 50s. I wouldn't rule out some upper 40s, especially since we're seeing some of those upper 40s right now. Tomorrow afternoon, much more mild than what we've had the past few days. Temperatures likely going to be in the low 60s. If we get a little more sun, we may be able to manage to reach the mid 60s. Not much rain expected during the day, but as that cold front gets closer to us later that evening, this is stopped at about 10 o'clock, we'll likely see some scattered showers, maybe a few heavier downpours. Overall, it looks like this round of rain is going to be moving in and out pretty quickly. So by early Monday morning before the sunrise, I do expect the majority of the rain to be out of the way. Winds will start to shift out of the north and northwest by early Monday morning. That will bring in some cooler air. This latest rain and futurecast keeps us in the low 50s Monday morning. I wouldn't rule out some upper 40s. That breeze out of the north likely going to make it feel a little cooler. Hopefully, once we get into the end of Monday, we'll start to see the clouds begin to break apart, clear up. For the most part, we're looking at temperatures mid to upper 50s. Maybe if the clouds clear fast enough, we'll hit that 60-degree mark by the afternoon. But I'm hopeful we're going to be seeing more sunshine by the end of Monday, and that's going to be kicking off a much drier trend throughout this upcoming work week. Now, with that round of rain moving in and out pretty quickly, we're looking at about anywhere from, I would say, 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch, maybe a little bit more than that, and some heavier downpours, but this is not going to be a big soaking rain like we had over on this past Thursday. Again, this rain is going to be moving in and out fairly quickly. So flooding, not as big of a concern. We'll let you know if anything changes, but I know the ground at this point is pretty saturated. However, it doesn't look like we're going to be seeing a total washout Sunday night into Monday morning. Once we get past Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, looking completely dry. I'm much more hopeful we're going to see sunshine, especially by Tuesday and Wednesday. Even Thursday could see a few isolated showers. At this time, though, it really doesn't look like a ton by the end of the week, but we do see a little bump in our rain chances ahead of another cold front. That cold front has the potential to bring with it some much cooler air. Stay tuned on that as we head into the week. That's a trend that we are going to be watching. Now, we are watching that first cold front moving in Sunday night into Monday. It is going to be a little bit cooler on Monday. Cooler air settles in by Tuesday. Our highs on the coast may only reach the upper 50s. We're going to be warming up ahead of that second cold front by the end of the week. We may even be getting close to 70 on Thursday. Not going to be out of the realm of possibilities, but by Saturday and Sunday of next week, we've got the potential that we may be seeing a much bigger cool down with highs possibly staying in the low to mid 50s. So again, stay tuned on that. In terms of low temperatures, we may see some patchy frost Tuesday morning, especially farther inland. We may not technically be hitting the freezing mark, but it is going to be cold Tuesday morning. And then by Saturday morning, with that other cold front pushing through the area, chances are we're going to be seeing temperatures at least in the 30s, maybe even colder than that. This is still several days away, but the overall trend is showing that things are looking much cooler by this upcoming weekend, not only for the southeast, but they're very likely going to be cooler than average across parts of the Midwest, up into New England. What we're watching looks like a big trough or dip in the jet stream that's going to be moving in across the eastern half of the country. That would allow some much cooler air to move in from the north. On the flip side, out west, we typically see this happen if we are going to be under a trough, they are going to be under a ridge, which would translate to warmer than average temperatures. So out west, this upcoming weekend, the 13th and 14th, they may be seeing warmer than average temperatures. But for us, trends are showing that things may be cooler right around this time next weekend. It is December after all, so that is to be expected at times. We do see these cooler blasts moving all the way down to the Gulf Coast. But all in all, not a bad 7-day forecast. Again, the majority of the rain tomorrow is going to be late at night, even throughout the overnight hours. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, even into Thursday, really not expecting any rain. That's going to allow your yards to dry out a little bit more. We needed the rainfall. Of course, maybe we got a little bit too much of it all at one time, but we're seeing drought conditions here in South Mississippi. So a bit of a pattern change this upcoming weekend. Stay tuned on next weekend. We may be seeing some much cooler air. We will be keeping a close eye on that. So time now is 8:27. We will be having our newscast coming up tonight at 10 o'clock on WLOX. We'll have the latest on your forecast once again. Of course, all of the news going on in South Mississippi, and I know a big night in football for the coast. We are watching Gulfport High play for the state championship up in Starkville tonight, so hopefully they can pull out that win. So we will have the latest coming up on what's going on in South Mississippi tonight at 10 o'clock. We hope you join us then.